You are now listening to the A Dose of Disruption podcast, powered by Experian. Weekly compelling conversations on making money moves and growing your network. The place where you can learn to be you and do you all at the same time. I'm your host, Shelly Bell, and now, let's see what this week's Level Up looks like. All right, what's up, y'all? We're doing something new. I don't usually do this, but I got a guest on today's Shelly Brief. Okay, so let's get into it.
All right.
Today, this is Alfred Duncan, cool friend of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I don't be letting everybody on the Shelly Briefs, yo.
Hey, I'm different though, Shelly. You already know. You already know I'm different. Look at that. Look at that.
Right, it's hat day. That's what it is. Hat episode. It's the hat episode. All right, so let's talk about it. The Houston.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at all the news, right? And been looking at all the things that have happened there.
Right.
Man, the flooding and people's like ceilings dropping down. Like they've been showing like just all the water into people's homes.
Yeah.
And then just having a stall on having fresh water. Like I was trying to figure out how I could send water over there, but like Amazon wasn't really delivering. I don't really know. But you were telling me something about them breaking out from the power grid. What's that about?
Yeah, so I'm not sure what year it was, but some while ago they broke off from the power grid, the United States power grid. So they are maintaining their own power. So, they weren't able to handle this winter storm that came. They were never equipped for that. Like it never snows in Houston, in Texas. So they were never equipped for that. So their power grid went out. And then also their pipes and stuff aren't insulated because they never had to do that because, they weren't expecting cold weather. So what's happening is pipes are busting and water is, going through the pipes and they're flooding and they're tearing down homes and it's crazy, man.
It is crazy, man. Yeah. I think too, and mind you, this is just a Shelly Brief, so neither one of us live in Texas. We're not experts on Texas. Mm-hmm. We just having conversations about what we know. I think it's really interesting to think about building homes based off of what you think will happen in that area, but not being able to take into account maybe global warming or conspiracy thought.
Yeah.
Do you think they're fiddling with the weather?
I saw something where somebody was trying to burn some ice and it wouldn't burn. Like they took some snow from outside and put a lighter to it and it wouldn't burn. And then they showed snow coming down and they were look like little drops of rice. They weren't like snowflakes. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely.
Do you think it was alien poop?
I think the aliens would be more sophisticated. I think they're just zappers, They're just zappers and get us out the way. They ain't gonna do it on us.
So you heard about the alien sightings like out in California, right?
Yeah. Do you think aliens are real?
I think that there is life outside of this planet. I think that. And I think that we have labeled them the title aliens. I think that but they don't view them. I don't think they view themselves as aliens. I don't.
But,
Well, I mean, yeah, because why would you call yourself a...
Yeah, they probably call us aliens. That's
right. They're like, look at these. They over there. They don't know how to take care of their planet. They probably could... Wait, what you think they call us? They probably call us something else.
They probably call us, I don't know, douche or some kind of name they come up with. You know what I'm saying? It's other life form. They probably, I don't know what they call us, but it's probably something crazy.
Right.
It's supposed to be something where the United States has to reveal what they know about aliens or what they know about extraterrestrial life form.
Yeah.
When is that supposed to happen?
I don't know. But who knows? Maybe it'll happen by the time this episode airs or not.
Yeah.
But if we, I don't know, we the oafs, other life forms, oafs. They were like, look at the
Other life forms. The oaths.
the oats. Well, look, man, thank you for joining me on this Shelly Brief. And in this next episode, we're actually going to talk to Vanessa Simmons. We'll be chatting it up with her today. It's going to be good times. She sent me her whole shoe line, the whole pastry shoe line, right? I never owned pastries before, but these joints are so comfortable. I don't know if I'm getting old. I don't know what it is.
You know, we get old, we get like Skechers and all that type of stuff. But nah, she young, so she hip. So nah, you ain't getting old. I'm sure.
These are good. These are really good.
Yeah, I'm sure they look good too.
Yeah, they do.
That's tight. That's
all
tight.
right. This has been today's Shelly Brief. All right, coming up with Vanessa next. All right, welcome, Vanessa. So good to see you. Talk to you again. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you too. Definitely been having a busy year, but I'm blessed. So doing very well.
Yeah. Have you had to do any virtual schooling at all?
Yes, we've been doing virtual schooling. So we just hit 100 days of first grade, a whole school year of virtual schooling. 100 days. I have a first grader. It's insane. And she's doing school virtually. It's too much.
Oh my gosh. It's too much. I feel like I'm failing as a parent right now. Like I have a kindergartner, and like all of my, like my meetings are on voice. So she's over there talking. I'm over here talking to teachers. I'm trying to redirect her to the right link. I'm like, I'm going to have to do something on like mom surviving virtual school because it is a real thing.
We need a handbook. Please do. We need a handbook. It is definitely an art at this point, how we balance and juggle it all.
100%. So our first question is always, you're doing a few things right now. You have the skincare business going, you have pastries going, you're also still doing acting. So I guess we'll lean into pastries right now.
Okay.
The question is always, you could be doing anything in the world. Okay. You could be climbing mountains. You could be the world's best ice skater. You could be weaving baskets, you could be creating your own hats. Why pastries?
The purpose in every project I ever take on, everything I've always done since I've been a young girl, has had a common denominator, a common goal, and it is to empower and inspire people. I'm very well aware that I come from a privileged background, and I feel like I've been given an opportunity and sometimes insight that others may not have. So through all my businesses, through everything I do, I want to inspire other people that they can and empower to my community, and my community being, African-American and Black, and my community being a woman. So that's really who I speak to. Of course, I'm for everyone, but that's who I can most relate to and who I want to serve.
Yeah, I'll say that thank you so much for the box of pastries. And I was so excited. And I was even more excited. I was like, okay, this is awesome, right? So I started opening them. And then when I put them on, I was like, my feet feel empowered. Yes! If that was part of the goal, I was like, oh my God. And so we went to the Super Bowl and I took them with me, which, any like professional event, sporting event, you're in line, you're standing up, you're like, it's cold. Like there's a bunch of things and elements happening depending on which way you're going to at what time. And I was so comfortable. So I was like, yes.
I'm so happy to hear that, because that is the goal of pastry and where it's evolved to be. Pastry, after my sister and I left, and we'll get into it, in 2012, it became dedicated to a professional dancer. So the technology of the sneaker was increased a lot, and comfort was the number one main element. So I'm so happy to hear you say that. And going forward, as we work on new designs, comfort is going to be the key, definitely. So.
No, I think it's funny because I feel like when it comes to, somehow we got away from that, like somehow in the shoe industry, we went into cute and comfort was last. Even in your most expensive shoes, they are not comfortable. And it's like
they are not.
So you're paying for the quality of this heel, and you like, yeah, I look cute, but I'm hurting, and it's funny because men never have to be that uncomfortable. And so I think it's just so unfortunate for women. So talking about the journey of pastries, we all remember, and I got a lot of those nostalgic kind of comments when I posted about them. Like, yeah, I love mine. I remember when I had mine. Like, well, they still make those. Like, I want the like, and so what has that journey been like just as a business owner, as a creator, to the point where you decided to leave it, like what, and then coming back to it. So how does that feel?
Many levels, many steps, a lot of evolution. My sister and I began Pastries. I want to know when we were on, well, as for people who don't know, when me and my family was on Run's house in the 2000s now, earlier 2000s. Run's house began in 2005 and we didn't finish till about 2010. So everyone saw Angela and I begin this brand. And we wanted to create sneakers. We found a void in the market. So that was really important for us to add our own, personal style to what was missing in the market. We felt like women needed sneakers that were geared towards them. And at the time, young ladies, because we were just in our 20s. Angela was barely 20. So we wanted to offer something sweet, chic, and unique. That was our logo. And it took off more than we could ever expect. And in 2012, well, before we get to 2012, the brand went on to have international and national success, making so much money that I can't even wrap my head around it sometimes, over $50 million. We had a goal to make $1 million. That's it. Like, we were like, what if we make $1 million? Yo, that would be crazy. And then our mind was just blown by the support and, the love everyone was giving the brand. In 2012, we were becoming more adults. We wanted to explore other parts of the industry. I wanted to be an actress. Angela had her goals and dreams. So we stepped away in that, like in a executive position from our brand, just to explore other things. Now, Pastry, which is really cool, continued on because it had such a following already. It had built such a presence in the fitness world that it continued on. But it changed gears and it became geared towards the professional dancer. So while me and Angela are out there, doing our thing in other lanes, Pastry was still around. Now, cut to me becoming a mother and having a daughter who is very creatively inclined, loves fashion. So I would show her pictures of me and my sister and what we used to do. She said, "Mommy, how come you don't design sneakers anymore?" And I didn't have a good enough answer. And I want my daughter to have a really, really positive example to look up to and show her that we women are capable of anything, no matter what anybody says. So I started the steps to get back on board and, come back to my baby Pastry as creative director. And that is where we are today. That is the short story of a very long story that spans over years and years, but that's as best as I can put it in a short explanation of the journey of Pastry. And now that I'm back, I plan on using the evolution of me as a woman and using that as inspiration for other women who I feel like, grew up with the brand. So who are we now? We're mothers. We're probably more, health conscious and concerned about our well-being. So how do I take Pastry and evolve it from when it began, just a very fun, cute, girly brand, to something that will be a staple in today's modern woman's life? So that is what I'm working on. We are working on Pastry Fit, which I'm excited about. It's going to be fitness clothing. Really excited about that. I just finished the design and got my first sample for the Heritage Collection, which will be my first foray back into designing for the brand. So I'm really excited. I have some really cool things coming up. And then we also are working with my daughter on the kids line. So I don't think there's a better person to join me on the design process than my daughter and let me know what kids her age actually like. She's working on an accessory line. I have one of the scrunchies right here. And the sneakers she designed, you guys are going to be blown away. I'm just so proud to be able to share this journey with my daughter, and to be able to be back at my first brand is just so very special to me.
I love this whole story. I mean, like, Well, just the entrepreneurial side of it, right? Like this idea that you build something, you decide to leave it. And did you maintain, if you're allowed to say, did you maintain like equity as you, even though you were going and doing your own things, did you maintain some connection to it?
There are some, of course, but like, certain personal business things I like to keep to myself and let everyone speculate or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. And the reason that I'm asking is because I think that not enough Black women think about building something that they don't always have to run. And so
Yeah,
it's always like,
absolutely.
even when it comes to venture capital, part of the challenge too is like nobody wants to give up equity. Like we're not, because of
It's
that
okay to give up equity pieces so that you get a
okay.
peace of mind.
That's right. Well, also you can make more money that way. You can also build more things. Like it's not going to be the last thing you build. Like
and
what
you have
what
more
it took.
resources at your disposal for building a brand. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And so definitely want to honestly just hear that it is okay for you to take on equity and it is okay for you to build something, decide to have equity in it, move away from it, and then decide that you're going to come back to it in a different way where you have a different kind of capacity for it. Right.
Yeah.
And
That wasn't always the plan, but
right.
Life brought me back.
That's right. But I think seeing more examples of that is just important. So seeing more examples of other ways to run businesses, because I think we have the one kind of like white male example of like, oh yeah, just like build a business and sell it, or build a business and go IPO, or build a business and just stay in it forever until you pass it on to children who may not want to run it actually. So, with having more examples of how to run business is like super important, and more conversation among women should be had about that so people can explore what's best for you.
Absolutely. It's definitely a personal thing and what's going to work best for you, and going with the ebb and flow of everything, like totally. I love that.
For sure. So you have a new show coming out.
Yes.
Asking for a friend. It's
Asking
out already?
It's out. We're on Facebook Watch, so you can check it out on my Facebook page.
Awesome. Okay. How many have you released already?
There are 4 episodes available right now on my Facebook.
We're gonna put that in the show notes below, so you make sure that you go and check it out. You're partnered up with Facebook, doing a Facebook Watch. How has it been? And you're filming during COVID, so how has that been?
That has been interesting. Everything surrounding COVID and the business world that I'm in, and entertainment, has been interesting. But what was really important to me about doing the show was getting out high quality conversations for our community. A lot of things have happened this year. People are isolated. They have questions about things that sometimes they may be embarrassed to go to other people about, or embarrassed to get the information, or embarrassed to start the conversation. And asking for a friend is that safe space where you can open up that question and we will find the answer no matter how uncomfortable it is. Our last episode that just released on Thursday was about the ever-growing concern about Black women and childbirth in this country right now, and what we can do to protect ourselves, the truths and the statistics of what's really going on. And we learned from a doula who's directly in the industry about, what the situation is and what we can do as Black women to protect ourselves. And one of the things she told me made me say, how do I even bring that topic up to a doctor? So we're having high quality conversations. We're tackling topics that are important to our community and important just for our own personal growth. And I'm just a conduit to get information. I am your virtual BFF that can get you the information to anything you could possibly need. So I'm very proud of Asking for a Friend, proud to be partnered with Facebook and the We the Culture program. And I really hope you guys enjoy the content, use it. I hope that they serve as conversation starters for, when you are in a room with your friends, and it just keeps that type of energy going within our community. We need this.
We do. And I've had some conversations before about like having to always everything be so high stakes for us, right? It's like every question, every conversation, everything you're trying to figure out it doesn't leave any room for vulnerability. And you need the space to be vulnerable during these moments and growing your business. And so I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Has there been any, that was a really great one. Do you have any sneak peeks you can give us about what's coming up?
Well, we have 4 episodes. So my sister was on an episode with me and we tackled the topic of toxic relationships, which got a lot of shares and a lot of love, because I feel like we've all been in a situation before where we can't figure out if a relationship is toxic, or if we should be moving on, or does that make us toxic? Are you the toxic one in the relationship? Like, we touched on some really good stuff. So I would definitely say go check out the 4 that are up. We have 2 more episodes dropping. We're talking about allyship, white women allyship, and with our struggle. Very kind of uncomfortable topic for me to have to dive into, but so necessary right now. We need to know our options. We need to know what's up in the world without feeling ashamed about it.
Yeah. No, I love that. I am Jason Scott, who's at Google. He talked about, I had an episode with him. He talked about accomplices over allies, and talked about like he favors the word accomplice because
we talked about that.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
That word is just so old school.
Yeah.
History book. I mean, we are a living history book right now. Let's be clear, but it's so, a new word, friend. I don't know.
Yeah. Ally feels like you're on the outside, kind of looking in and saying, hey, I'll help you if you need it. But accomplice is like, we ride or die. Like, we in it together. You're getting in the car with me. We rolling out. So I told him, I was like, I really like that. Like, using the word accomplice versus ally feels a little bit more together.
Approachable. Yeah.
Approachable is a good one. Especially, I think too, like, approachable is interesting because it could expand beyond the person. It could actually be the concept, the topic, the conversation, approaching the conversation now. Well, one last question we have for you, and then we will let you get back to all of the wonderful things that you have going on. So glad to spend some time with you. So your daughter, Ava, I love to hear you talk about the journey with her, how you're including her. That is amazing. Like during that time, how do you couple the creative periods of like designing to like what that means from a financial literacy standpoint? Like, how do you?
Well, she is so young, so we haven't gotten into financial literacy, but I do it through the actions and what I do with her. So Glitter and Lace is my mommy and me line, but it's not my line. That's Ava Marie's line. And I began that for her. She likes designing. And like I said, she's creatively inclined. So she said, I want to be a designer. I said, okay, I do what my dad taught me. I have resources. Let's do this little line. We'll put you a website together. Tell me what you want your hoodies, your t-shirts to say, and she develops it. So that line was created for her with the intention of maybe when she's 18, she'll take it and make it a contemporary brand. And that brand will be built out and will have a rich history. It's something that we worked on together. So I teach her financial literacy through that and generational wealth, but not necessarily telling her outright because she's just 7. So or through like the actions and what we do, and it's beautiful for her to come home and be like, hey, mommy, did you talk to Bridget? That's our lady who helps us with the brand. I really want to do pajamas today. I really want to make a diffuser. I'm like, okay, well, let's sit down and you tell me exactly how you want it to look. And this little girl creates. So I'm so happy to be able to do something for her like that. And then on the mom side, I just make clothing that's empowering our roles as mothers. So you'll see like fun little quotes on the shirts or, heavily branded moms, because sometimes moms don't get the credit that they really deserve. They are hardworking, truly super beings. And I want to be able to support other mothers as much as I can. And I do that through Glitter and Lace while also building my daughter a business that hopefully in a few years she will take and build it and take it out of this world.
100%. Well, we always appreciate you. So good to hear from you and see you again. Everybody out there, make sure you go check out the Facebook Watch. Make sure you're following and buying from Glitter and Lace. And make sure you're checking out Pastries and get you a pair if you want to feel good. Because I'm telling you, I was like, yes.
Thank you. And be on the lookout.
I can't wait for the kids one because my daughter's asking me last night, like, Mom, what kind of shoes are these?
Just know that there's going to be bows involved with the shoes. And this idea is big. Like, I can't believe my 7-year-old made it up, and the office is just in love. So we'll definitely have some stuff coming for your daughter soon too.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shelly.
Thanks for joining us, Disruptors, and congratulations. You have taken another step toward being friggin' amazing. Make sure you visit us at adoseofdisruption.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or via RSS feed. Rate and subscribe if you're all the way live. Rate and subscribe if you're all the way live. That's right. Tell a friend, rate and subscribe to keep us all the way live. Come back next week so we can disrupt some more shit.